today I would like to talk about this pen, the Platinum Carbon pen. This is a peculiarly shaped pen, as you can see, which may suggest to some of you that this is a calligraphy pen, but it is not. This is a regular fountain pen. The reason it is shaped this oddly is that it is a desk pen. For those of you not familiar with what that is, that means that you can also get a desk stand, and you put the pen in there, and then you put it on your desk like that. I'll cover the stand, but first let's have a look at the pen. So you have this weird cap, which has nothing on it, no label or logo or whatever, but I don't really use it. You can in fact put the pen into the holder with the cap attached, but I really don't think that's necessary. So the cap, yeah, typical shape. The pen is long. This, you know, I have large hands, but this really is a big pen. It's about 18 centimeters long, which is long. The shape is weird, but that's what old fountain pens and desk pens used to look like. Let's have a look at the section and the nib. I'll give you a close-up of the nib when I do the writing sample. It has a type of gold color, but I don't even think it's gold plated, this one. I don't know what material it is exactly. It has the P, the logo of Platinum, and the breather hole, and that's pretty much it. Now you have to realize there's only one nib size with this pen, and that is extra fine. And this is an Asian pen. So extra fine means that this is pretty much what would be a needle point in the Western world. Now I was a bit afraid of that. I was scared that this might be an extremely scratchy pen, but it's not. To my surprise, it's definitely not bad. Okay, then the section is smooth. It is there is no texture on there. It is just smoothly shaped, which again resembles some older vintage pens. And yet I thought it was pleasant to hold. I didn't feel like my fingers were slipping. It's comfortable to hold, and as you can see, it's very long. So clearly there is no posting with this pen. That would be odd. The cap is on very loosely, and it has absolutely no use because the pen's already very long. Because of this weird shape, it's actually fairly ergonomical. Sorry. I was surprised by that. I thought it would be finer and maybe a bit unpleasant to hold if you have large hands, but I had no problems with that whatsoever. So that's a good thing. Then we have this little gold ring here, which probably is not real gold. Clearly, it's not that expensive a pen. And we have again the Platinum logo and the carbon pen on the barrel. Now, the first thing when I saw this barrel, the first thing I thought of was, this would be an interesting eyedropper converted pen, because that would hold a lot of ink. But unfortunately, I'm sure you won't be able to see that, but it's actually hollow, of course. So you could really fill this up with ink to the brim, but there's a little hole there. I don't think you can see that, but ink is just going to flush out, so that's not possible. As you can see here, this pen uses proprietary. I have to be careful because this cartridge is in use. I don't want ink to fly everywhere. These are proprietary Platinum cartridges, and this one even says carbon ink, which is a very nice black. It came with the pen. As I said, it's called the carbon pen. This is a nicely saturated black, but I was told not to use that in other fountain pens. The feed of this pen has an extra wide channel to accommodate this ink. So if you put that in other fountain pens, you may clog your pen. Okay, so there you have it. That's the pen. The desk stand. Well, that's just a desk stand. It comes with this little ball, which you may be able to see, which means you can move the actual stand around. So you can really rotate it. And you can adjust the angle, which you probably see better with the pen in there. So you can have this at a steeper angle or a lower angle. This is a bit ridiculous, but just to show you the options, you can put it up straight all the way if you like. So you can really fiddle around a bit with that, which I like. It's not even that heavy. I expected it to be heavier, but it's a lot of plastic, so it's not stone or marble, which was also used in the past. But it's still it's solid. It will hold your pen. You will not knock it over very easily. So, the carbon pen by Platinum with the desk stand. There is also a pen by Sailor, which is also a desk pen that actually looks an awful lot like this one, but that does not fit in this desk stand. So if you buy that, you have to buy a separate desk stand from Sailor, and you cannot use this one by Platinum. What I should also point out is that you buy the two separately. So you do not get the stand supplied with the pen, you have to buy them. Then again, both of them are not extremely expensive. So if you're looking for something like this, as I was, you could consider it. So the writing is smooth, and I think the best way to convince you of that is to show you a writing sample. So that's what I'm going to do next. I hope this was useful, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye! Okay, writing with the Platinum Carbon Desk Pen. So, the nib, I'm not exactly sure how well you can see this. I always get the feeling my camera doesn't do too good a job of focusing at these extreme close ranges. But as you can see, or may not see, it has the Platinum logo, which is this P, and that's pretty much all there's to it. So, let's do some writing. Severe startup problems. I have used it for a bit. Platinum Carbon Desk Pen. Now, this pen sounds pretty scratchy, but it really doesn't feel scratchy. So the ink is this carbon black that in the cartridge that came with the pen. Let's do a little bit of writing. What you can see is that it's a very fine line, right? The Quick Fox, well, it's brown apparently, and was walking down the street. When it saw a desk set by Platinum. Now it says Platinum. What the hell? Well, whatever. Sorry, I got lost for a second. So here you see this extremely fine line. I mean, this is... I think this actually rivals my Namiki Falcon Fine. This is a really fine line. Now, I'm not a huge fan of these extremely fine nibs, as you may know if you've seen some more of my videos, but this pen isn't that scratchy, so I'm willing to accept the fact this is a fine nib. If you are looking for a fine nib, if you are an artist, for example, then I think this pen is fantastic, because it really gives a very consistent, nice, fine line. I don't see any skipping, it is not scratchy, so for artists this may be a very good pen. Now what I'm interested in is the flexibility of the nib. Now of course it's not a flex nib, so I'm going to have to be a little careful, but at least I'd like to get an idea of whether there is some line variation which can be attained here. I have to be a little careful, because as you can see this is a really large pen, it's getting very close to the camera lens here. Okay, so I apply a bit more pressure with every stroke. That's what she said. Well, whatever. Bad joke, sorry. Okay, so we can get some variation actually, not bad. I don't want to push this too far because the nib doesn't appear to like this. It's getting scratchier as I push down harder. I've written the Dutch spelling, sorry. In any case, you can definitely see that there is some line variation to be attained, which is not bad for such a cheap pen. I mean, I think this pen, well actually I forgot, but it was less than $20. I think it was even less than $15. So maybe even $13.50 something. So this is a pretty cheap pen. And as you can see, if I apply just a bit more pressure, I get a line that is not as hairline fine as under no pressure. So that's a good thing. Okay. Well, if you want to lay down a lot of ink fast, then clearly a superfine nib is not your best option, but wow, look at that. That's a very consistent patch I'm creating here. Nice. Another plus point for this pen. Okay. Well, there may be some fast rising to see how well the nib can keep up. Not being legible, just being fast. As you can see, there is no skipping. This says and it's supposed to say brown. Whatever. So the pen keeps up. Nice. I'm again pleasantly surprised. By the way, did you notice that it's not a truly hooded nib, but it does have this nice, almost, well, I guess it's like a W shape sort of thing with plastic going on. I think, let me just grab one of my vintage Mont Blancs. Looky, what have we got here? Look familiar? And what about the Mont Blanc? This is the Mont Blanc 22. Review's coming up. But what about the Mont Blanc 220? Oh, that's just the other way around. Okay, then this. Okay, then the plastic is actually the other way around. That's just, if you catch my drift. But still, looks a bit Mont Blanc-ish. Interesting. I'm not, I'm not insinuating anything. I'm just pointing out something that just struck me. Okay, well, there you go. Sailor desk pen. I hope this was useful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.